It was supposed to be a quiet winter afternoon in southern Quebec, the kind of day where the world felt muted under fresh snow, and every breath burned slightly from the cold. Ember, a 16-year-old girl with a hearing disability, was used to silence, or at least her version of it. Life had taught her to navigate a world filled with sounds she sometimes missed, voices she couldn't always recognize, and moments where she had to rely on instinct instead of hearing. The holidays had just ended, and she was finally settling back into her routine. Her neighborhood bordered a dense forest, a place she had grown up feeling comfortable in. She loved walking there, especially with Monty, her Rottweiler Husky mix who lived for winter. That afternoon, she grabbed her coat, clipped Monty's leash, and stepped outside. The cold hit her face like needles. Monty pulled forward excitedly as they headed toward the trail entrance, practically dragging her the last few feet. Once inside the forest, she unclipped his leash. He sprinted ahead, kicking up snow in chaotic bursts. The trail was almost untouched. A few dog tracks here and there, but nothing fresh. About 30 minutes in, Ember reached a fork in the trail. To her surprise, one path looked pristine, no footprints at all. Feeling bold, she followed it. The untouched snow muffled everything, creating that illusion of being alone in a world that had forgotten sound. Eventually, the trail opened into a clearing. She pulled out her new binoculars, scanning tree lines for birds. But instead of a bird, she caught sight of something else, a blue tarp, stretched between trees, like a makeshift shelter someone had built long ago. A chill crawled up her back. She stared at it for a few seconds, unsure if she should go closer. The sun was sinking fast and the temperature was dropping. She decided to turn back. Monty ran ahead as usual, but he wasn't behaving normally. His ears were up, his posture stiff. He kept sniffing the path intensely, like he was following a trail she couldn't see. That's when Ember noticed the footprints. Large, deep, fresh. Not hers. Her stomach tightened. There was no other path, no shortcut, no way someone could have passed without her seeing them. Unless it happened while she was looking through the binoculars. She tried to shake it off. Maybe it was just another hiker. Maybe she was overthinking. But the footprints weren't the only thing bothering her. The woods had changed, the air felt colder, the trees darker. And then Monty froze. His fur bristled. He stared past Ember, growling low. She turned slowly and saw a man standing only a meter away. Tall, at least 64. Snow pants, white camo jacket, hands in pockets. His breath fogged in the air, but otherwise he was completely still, almost unnaturally still. His lips moved, but Ember couldn't make out the words. Not with the lighting, not with her hearing. She tried telling him she was hard of hearing, raising her hands in a helpless gesture. The stranger tilted his head just slightly, then smiled. Not friendly, not natural, just wrong. Monty barked wildly, lunging forward until Ember grabbed his collar and pulled him back. The man didn't react at all. He simply stood there, watching her. Ember forced herself to walk away. She kept Monty close, her heart pounding like a drum inside her chest. She didn't run. Running would feel like admitting fear, but every step home felt heavier than the last. She reached her house at 4:30, shaken but safe. For the rest of the night, she tried convincing herself it was just a weird encounter. Maybe he was a hunter. Maybe he was lost. Maybe she misread everything. But at 3:00 a.m., Monty woke her. Not with his usual soft nudges. He was frantic, barking hysterically. The kind of bark he only made when something was very, very wrong. Ember sat up fast, tapped her phone. 3:00 a.m. She noticed a message from her neighbor asking if everything was okay because Monty had been barking, like he was possessed. Monty wasn't in her room anymore. She rushed downstairs, following the sound of his growls. He was at the patio door, body stiff, tail rigid, barking at the darkness outside. Ember squinted through the window. her vision still blurry from sleep. The motion light flicked on. And there he was. The same man from the forest, standing in her backyard, facing her, still wearing that white camo jacket blending into the snow behind him. She didn't think, she just acted. She backed away from the door and texted 911 as fast as her fingers could move. Her hands were shaking so violently she kept misspelling words. She grabbed her machete from under her bed, ran upstairs, closed her door and pressed her back against the wall. Monty paced wildly, snarling at the door. Then he stopped. His ears twitched, his eyes fixed on the bottom of the door. A shadow shifted underneath it. Footsteps slow, heavy. The stranger was in the hallway. Ember covered her mouth, trying not to breathe too loudly. Her chest tightened. Her heart hammered so hard it hurt. Monty growled deep in his throat. The shadow lingered, moved slightly, stopped again. She braced herself, gripping the machete so hard her hands went numb. But the doorknob never turned. The door never opened. When the police arrived minutes later, the stranger had vanished. The patio door was smashed inward. The gate leading back to the forest was left wide open. But there were no footprints leaving the yard except Monty's. Not the stranger's. Like he had simply disappeared. Ember told them about the shelter she'd seen. Officers searched the woods the next day. They found remnants of a tarp and signs someone had been living there. Someone big, someone who moved quietly. Too quietly. To this day, Ember avoids the forest completely. She sticks to roads, always keeps Monty leashed, and never, ever goes out alone after dark. She still thinks about the stranger, about his smile, about the way he muttered words she never heard, and about why he came back. Because the footprints that night, the ones leading away from her broken patio door, weren't his. They belonged to Monty. The stranger left none. Not a single one. As if he never touched the ground at all.